November 15th, 2020, Patriots versus the Ravens. Ravens have the ball, and here's another example of a hit that I think should be not allowed in football. I don't think it's necessary, and it injured a player. And I literally turned the game on, and this is the first thing I heard as a player had been injured. So I had a little bit of digital memory. I rewound, and I saw it. So literally, I didn't have to watch the whole game. I literally just turned to the channel, boom, there's the injury. And it follows a similar path to the other ones. The better they make these helmets, the more the players are using them as weapons. So there's no point in patting yourself on the back for creating helmet safety, because the helmet safety is leading to more injuries to players who are being assaulted by the helmets. So I'm going to play the play, and I'm going to play it in slow motion.
So how many tens do you think Tiger Woods has ever taken? Not even in video. That's coming up to the 28-yard line and taking a pop right there. He's down and he's hurt. You see the Patriots signaling to the bench to get somebody out there immediately. Nick Boyle taking that shot. You could tell right off the bat the Patriots are all waving to the bench frantically to give him some help. Immediately, Nick Boyle. Not even in video. That's coming up to the 20.
Well, that was meant a lot to him. I think he grew up very close.
Okay, we're going to play it in slow motion. So, I'm going to say a couple things here. The hit almost looked like a typical hit, but it wasn't. The defender chose to go low and lead with his helmet. It wasn't like he even had a choice. He chose. He's upright. He's totally upright. He goes down and he leads with his helmet. Now, I'm going to play it in single frame. Now, by the way, if he had dropped the ball, it'd be considered a fumble. That's another thing. This happened in another game. Okay, the player got hit so forcefully, it knocked him out. Because the ball came out, because he was knocked out, it was considered a fumble. Now, is that really what you want? If he had dropped that ball, they could have picked it up as a fumble. Anyway, just bringing up another point that really bugs me.
So how many tens do you think Tiger Woods has ever?
Now I'm going to do single frame here.
Not even in video.
Okay. Now, I forget which player it is. Hold on, I'm going to go a couple more frames. Okay, so he's upright. He's totally upright. All he has to do is wrap him up and tackle him. That's it. So all he has to do is just stay upright. Just stay upright. Just stay upright and you got him. Just stay upright. Oh, wait a minute. Why should I go upright when I can chop him off at the knees leading with my helmet and injure him? Why would I want to bear hug him when I can just beat the crap out of him with my helmet? So I think I'll go low instead. There we go. Yeah. He literally looks like somebody on the starting blocks of a 100-yard dash or 100-meter dash. He's on the starting blocks. He's putting his arms down, his hands down at the ground. Is that how you tackle somebody, really? With your hands down by the ground? Is that how you tackle somebody? Now, I know these kinds of tackles are sort of approved or not considered illegal, but it's still leading with the helmet. That's the problem. I mean, if you want to go sideways into somebody, I don't know if that's legal or not, but at least it's not a helmet. I mean, it seems like a helmet would be the worst of all. So launching, that's a launch. Feet there. I mean, he's launched. He's committed. He is committed to falling forward into this guy, only not falling, actually literally using all of his energy to destroy his knee. Look at that. Look at the helmet. Right on the knee. Right on the knee. And just as he's putting his force on that leg, which made it probably even worse. Well, actually, he's not quite on there yet. Let's go one more frame. Well, no, that's what happened. See, he actually got that foot down just in time for the hit to really smash his knee while his foot's levered into the ground. That's another reason why you're supposed to be doing these kind of... Anyway, I don't see how having your hand on the ground is how you tackle somebody. I don't get it. That's not tackle. All I can say is if you want to, we're sort of slowly being conditioned to accept these kind of hits. Watch a 1950s NFL reel. They're on YouTube. Just put 1950s NFL. Black and white reels come up and just watch how they tackle. They do not tackle like this. You know why? Because they're wearing like leather helmets, I think. I don't think they're metal at all. And they're pretty smart. They realize if I do this without a metal helmet on, I'm going to knock myself out. That's why, you know, people probably are like, gosh, those players from the 40s and 50s, you know, when they weren't using real metal helmets or whatever, they must have all gotten concussions and been really messed up. And yeah, there probably were some, but guess what? They weren't doing this either. So it offset. So that's why there's players like Joe Namath, who still has his marbles about him, and other players from the 60s and maybe even the 50s who may actually still be normal because they didn't go around leading with their helmet, because their helmet wasn't the scientifically engineered helmet that's supposed to be protecting the players. And what it's done is it's protected these players to where they can injure other players more effectively. So this is not acceptable. I'm sorry. You don't tackle somebody with your hands on the ground. That's just not how you do it. Look at that. Look what he did to the guy. Look at that. He smashed him so hard. Not only that, I think, because his hands are so close to the ground, they may have ended up on his foot, on the guy's foot. So now he's literally smashing him above while his foot is holding his foot down in the spot to do even more damage. You know, you got to keep the legs free. That's the whole idea of tackling waist up, is if you do tackle somebody below the waist, you wrap your arms around them and bring them down. Okay? Now, these are, I think they're called chop blocks. I don't know what the rule is on chop blocks. I'm going to have to research it now, but a chop block leading with a scientifically engineered helmet, why? Why are we doing this to people? This is not, I'm going to keep bringing this up because this is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable to do this to players on the field. I don't, you know, I want to see a 50s tackle, okay? I mean, he's done. He's toast.
Going up to the 28-yard line and taking a pop right there is, well, he's down and he's hurt. You can see the Patriots signaling to the bench to get somebody out there immediately. Nick Boyle taking that shot. You could tell right off the bat the Patriots are all waving to the bench frantically to give him some help.
You know, I'm going to just say one more thing. It sort of makes it hypocritical to make this big deal about kneeling during the anthem when you allow your own game, the game you guys play, to allow it to exist in such a manner where you're injuring each other to such a degree that you're breaking bones and creating concussions and all just so you can lead with your helmet. If that's the level of responsibility you take for your own game, maybe you shouldn't be kneeling on the side in protest if you can't even clean up your own game.